It's going to get rough, ladies and gentlemen. Be prepared. Buckle your seatbelts. Hold on to your seat. I know it's coming. There is a tidal wave. There's a strong breeze coming. This week in fantasy football, it's going to get messy. I have a strong gut feeling. We've seen some injuries happen. We just witnessed a crazy trade deadline just happen. It's in the rear view, but it's fresh. A lot of running backs are questionable. Derrick Henry does not have a foot injury. Austin Eckler, abdomen injury. I don't know, question mark. Rashad Bateman out for the year. Mike Thomas might as well be done for the year. It's going to get crazy.
Or Jonathan Taylor, you forgot him.
Yeah, bust of the year, potential bust of the year candidate. We'd be better off him not playing. Jonathan Taylor for sure. Another running back to add with Derrick Henry and Austin Eckler. Derrick Henry and Austin Eckler are probably okay though. JT's probably not. Lots of craziness going on. So this week, your goal. Let's talk about short-term, long-term goals. Your goal is to survive. Know it's going to get rough. It's better to know that the big wave is coming. It's going to hit us. We're not going to like it. We're going to get salty water up our noses. We're not going to like the taste. Your goal is to survive this week. And that's it. I'm just giving you a fair warning that it's going to get messy. And I'm very confident in that. I know it's going to happen. By the way, guys, welcome to the Fantasy Couch podcast. We're going to be talking about the 5 guys I want you guys to go and trade for. Talking a little bit about Thursday night football game. I'm joined with my co-host Mike Mattal. Let's start off talking about Thursday night football. I was very impressed by the Eagles. I feel like I have to say that because some people maybe a little bit too much into fantasy football. Kind of was expecting 25 or more points from Jalen Hurts. He didn't quite get there, but the Eagles played like they should have. They controlled the clock. They ran the ball extremely well. And they kind of hit that intermediate and short pass game, which was worked very well. A couple of big sacks and a fumble caused by the Texans defense, but other than that, I thought the Eagles played well, and Dameon Pierce is amazing, and I think the Texans played better than I expected them to. So they got a lot of heart. They were missing Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins. Like, is Davis Mills? Does he have a future, or is he
I think
just
so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, what are their other options? They sign a free agent, but no one wants to go to the Texans. Or they could, try to get another quarterback in the draft. But I think they've already, invested a lot of time and energy into making sure Davis Mills works out. I mean, he has the pedigree. He was the number one rated quarterback in high school in 2017. So the talent is there. I think they just need to put, better weapons around him, like receivers, and maybe even a tight end. But they got the running back of the future with Damian Pierce. And I just think, they just need to put an elite weapon, like how, when Jalen Hurts got AJ Brown, he all of a sudden leveled up. So I think Davis Mills needs someone of that caliber in order to, take the next step.
according to this 20, 20 games for Davis Mills? He's only played 20 games. He's still young. I think we're pretty spoiled with how rookies aren't rookies anymore, except maybe with quarterbacks and tight ends. We used to wide receivers balling out their first year. Of course, we used to running backs balling out their first year. Even corners are playing a lot better. His name is Brandon Cooks. I don't know if there's a misspelling on this comment. I mean, do we trust this? I don't. See, I'm very detail oriented. I mean, like, how much faith do you have, and how much do you know that Brandon Cooks is the guy if you don't know how to spell his name?
Yeah, Brandon Cooks is a good wide receiver too, but if he's your number one guy, I don't think that's good enough could be considered an elite weapon.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, once upon a time. Yeah, wide receiver one, but not in this situation. Not in reality. Not
Yeah,
in
not in
this.
reality.
Not in this simulation we live in. One of the many. Not in this dimension. It ain't. It ain't happening. Now, if he was traded, maybe he could kind of be like, I don't know, close to wide receiver one. He could be a good starter on a team for sure. But on the Texans, nah, that
The
ain't
Rams could
happening.
use him. I'll tell you that.
Well,
He should go back to
The Rams need a lot of help. They don't. One receiver wouldn't solve their O line, and they can't run. It was a lot. It was a lot.
He was good when he was on LA. That's the one thing that
He was great. He was on the Saints.
yeah.
He was in LA. He was good last year with Davis Mills.
Hmm.
But one of the negatives about him, other than he kind of threw a hissy fit that he wasn't traded, and I'm not a. I kind of feel him. I can understand that. Is that he was on a lot of teams, and usually great players don't switch teams.
The Cowboys wanted him, I know that, but I think the asking price was too high.
Yeah, and Bishop, it's not that I'm like trying to get on you for spelling. I just don't think it bodes confidence when you're like he's like when you're vouching for a player, you're like, "Oh, guys, I know the perfect player." And then you don't know how to spell his name. I don't think that's the guy. I really don't. Like I don't think he's the guy. His name. Yeah, it was supposed to be Brandon Cooks. Now if you said that, that makes a lot of sense. He was supposed to be Brandon Cooks. It's not Brandon Cooks. That's already been official. I mean, the dude didn't even play this week. Like, it's definitely not him. It's not him.
I read a tweet that said Brandon Cooks is quiet quitting. He's like, whatever quiet quitting is, I'm pretty sure Brandon Cooks is doing that.
Quiet quitting. That's like the meme in the workplace, right? This is
Yeah.
applied to like office, like yeah, that type of
Yeah.
quiet quitting, where you're doing like slightly even below the bare minimum expectation. That's what
Yeah.
quiet quitting is basically.
That's what he's doing.
I mean, Buddy didn't even bother to come up with an excuse and call into work this week. He's just like, nah. He just didn't even pick up the phone. They had to make up an excuse for him.
Yeah, basically. He's
Like,
just so pissed, I bet. Probably packed his bags already.
those guys asking about Cam Akers and Kyron
Kyron
Williams, but
Williams.
this is good. Ricky Bobby says Cam Akers and Brandon Cook should start a podcast. Yeah,
That's
yeah, for
true.
sure. Some little bit of news though. Rashad Bateman out for the year. So what happens with there? Well, I think now that the main news is Isaiah Likely, the cat's out the bag. So once it's out, right? Once the fire started, it's hard to put back in. Right? It's unleashed. The wild animal is unleashed. It's out. It's got a taste of blood. You can't just put it back in. You can't make that a house cat anymore. Come here, pussycat. No. It's out. Isaiah Likely has been unleashed. And no matter if Mark Andrews is healthy or not, I think he's going to be a big part of this offense. He's not a he's not a blocking tight end. He's essentially a wide receiver. And the Ravens don't really have a lot of those. Now that Rashad Bateman is out, Demarcus Robinson was their best receiver last week, a wide receiver. Kenyon Drake caught some balls. They don't even throw to the running back position that much. So Mark Andrews been banged up this year. Rashad Bateman is out. They traded away Hollywood Brown.
They got Duvernay though.
Duvernay's great. I don't think he's a high volume guy though. So he should be
Yeah.
picked up in every league. You could starting him this week is fine, but you're not even expecting wide receiver 2 numbers out of him, or barely are. Like a low end wide receiver 2. So he's okay, but he's not the one. So I think Mark Andrews, especially if he's not playing, Isaiah Likely is basically a must start. I might even have to elevate Isaiah Likely off my taxi squad and start him at flex this week.
Wow.
One league by Mageddon, as you know, as you've been
Yeah.
going around all the chat rooms yelling that. I saw. So you're well aware. It's 6 teams on bye this week. It's a lot of buys. So I might be starting Isaiah Likely Monday Night Football. Um, and Michael Thomas. I mean, does anything change? Not really. He's been out for a while, so I think we know what's like. I think we know what's gonna happen. Chris Olave must start every week. He's a stud. I love Chris Olave. Don't get
Never drafting
discouraged.
Michael Thomas again. That's the last time. You fooled me one too many times.
Yeah, I was
That's it.
celebrating that I got him in round 9 in
Me too.
the well, you didn't get him. No one got him round
I
9
know.
in
But I
the
got
league.
him like late in one
But
league, but
round 9, I got him at
yeah, that's late.
9.01. In the Pros
I got him
versus
7th
Joes
round.
tournament. I was ecstatic.
Yeah.
And I got Julio Jones around 19. That was just a huge home
Oh,
run hit. But I
wow.
mean, that didn't really amount to much either. Both picks didn't do much. I'm still, and I drafted Jonathan Taylor 1.01. I'm
Yeah.
still alive in that league, though. I'm in 4th
Crazy.
place. It's first place or nothing, though. And thanks to those guys for inviting me every year. I like that people like me still. I think 2017 was when peak people liked me. That was like
Mhm.
my peak. And it's all been downhill ever since, which I'm still very grateful. I mean, people still like me. It's just that was the peak, though. That was my prime as far as likability. It's like an arc. It's a character arc where everyone likes you're the underdog, and so I've passed this point where I'm not the underdog anymore, but I'm also not, like I'm not like the Buffalo Bills. I'm not
Mhm.
like the best team in the league. So I have enough haters, and I'm not on the very. You gotta be
You're
an
like the
underdog.
Jets.
Ooh, I'd like to think of myself a little bit better with Brees Hall.
Yeah,
Yes,
with
with
Brees
Brees
Hall.
Hall.
Yeah,
That's the
with Brees
yes,
Hall. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That's exactly who I am. Exactly. That's me. The Jets
Yeah,
with Brees
with Brees
Hall.
Hall and Flacco.
Well, it actually doesn't matter who's at
Flacco
quarterback.
starting.
It doesn't matter who's at quarterback. As long as Brees Hall is playing and the defense is solid, that's me right there. Bringing back this photoshopped picture of Chase Claypool. I warned you guys he might not go to the Packers, and he was right about to. But the Bears' second round pick was a little bit better than the Packers, and so Chase Claypool is a Chicago Bear.
So on
Sully's
the
in the
right, he's a
building.
Bear.
No, he's supposed to be a Packer. This is the worst Photoshop job.
Oh,
This is
okay.
the last
I don't
podcast.
know
I
what's
was kind
going
of
on.
making fun of people that already thought Chase Claypool was a Green Bay Packer, essentially.
Ah, got you.
Sully woke up from the dead to remind us that he did not trust Mike Thomas.
Yeah.
And
Good eye,
surprise,
Sully.
surprise, he's out. I drafted him 3 times, or
Me
no, two
too.
times. This two
Two times. Two
two
times.
times, and we traded for him though in duos.
Yeah.
So
That. Oh,
that
yeah.
was
Yeah. That
rough.
was bad. That was 3 times in.
I thought he was gonna get
Terrible.
over his turf toe
Me
really quick.
too.
He's so weird. What a weird guy. He's just
Like you can't get hurt again. You know what I mean? Like that was my logic.
like,
Like
come
there's
on.
no
It's
way.
it's just turf toe. I thought he'd be back. Like, okay, he might miss some time. He'll be back.
Never again. That's it.
It's
It's
like what
never
happened.
happening
Like I
again.
think his toes like started growing into each other, and this became some kind of like the toe grew through the other toe, and it became like some kind of cross toe mutation. And then they're like, "All right, we're gonna need surgery."
He's
His
just
foot looked
injury
like the
prone.
Swamp Thing. I
He's
don't
just
know.
injury prone. I think he's done. I think he's done. Career's over.
I don't
Pack
know.
it up.
You'd be one bold guy to draft him next year. I tell you that'd be a.
Someone will do it, but it's gonna be really late.
How
I
dope
think.
was it that we didn't draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire? That was quite a scare, though.
Yeah,
Man was
yeah,
scoring a
yeah.
ton of lucky touchdowns, making us look silly.
Did we have? I mean, was that like one of the players? I forget. Were we
Well,
debating on him?
Yeah, a lot of people. No. You avoided him, and then I
Okay,
started
okay,
as
good.
saying I was like, if you draft Clyde, you lose your league. Like,
Yeah, that's
and so
true.
people started
Facts.
making fun of me, of course, the first couple weeks, but
No.
thankfully that's been work. I mean, it really was kind of like a 30-30-30 split, and he just was ended up getting the touchdowns. And I was like, how much longer can he keep this up? He's not keeping it up anymore. Like
He
he's
went
just
back into the pumpkin.
yeah, he's almost droppable at this point.
What?
Well, people in
Dang.
10-team leagues are
Yeah,
considering
yeah, yeah.
dropping him.
For sure, for sure.
So when would you when would you ever start him in a 10 team?
I want to drop JT so bad, but
You
obviously you
can't
can't.
drop.
I know
You
you
can
can't,
trade
but
him. You can trade
I
him.
know, I know. I hate him that
It
much.
depends on the
That's
leagues.
my
That's why we have a
point.
meme here, which is very relevant. Now this is not even a funny. This is one of those memes that almost makes you cry. It's beautiful. It's a
Wow,
beautiful
it's
movie.
art.
It's great. The meme itself is dumb, but the point is very significant. So it's the Grim Reaper. A lot of you guys seen this. Sleeper posted it. We used Deion Jackson. What was it? Week 6, I think. So week 6, I believe it was. Some of us picked up Deion Jackson. Some of us, like me and you did in the duos league. That was
Yeah,
awesome because we
great.
didn't have any running backs. We had 12 injured players, and he was literally the best running back that week. And so I told everyone in Couch Fam again this week to go at him. So if you're listening to this podcast and Deion Jackson is available, go and add him. Jonathan Taylor, no show at practice Thursday. I mean, this team's like, I don't even know. You know what? The Colts, I'm not even giving them the credit to say they're tanking. I'm just going to say they're headed in no direction. What's the right word for that? They got
The
their
quiet
blinders
quitting.
on. They're quite, yeah, they are quite good. They are quite
Quiet
quitting.
quitting.
Yes, they are. I don't
Yeah,
think they know that though.
I think they know.
They're just, yeah, maybe they do. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I
they
think
are
they know.
quite quitting. Yeah, they are. And why? Like, what's their motivation to trot out Jonathan Taylor this week?
Nothing. Absolutely
Nothing.
nothing.
So there's a good chance that JT is out. Naheem Hines is definitely not there. He got traded. He's in
Yeah, he's not
Buffalo.
there.
So it's this
What
guy.
Lindsey though? Is Lindsey a factor at all? Just curious. Is
Well,
he
he'll
or is
get
he
carries like he did
right?
last. He did that. He did last time.
But Jackson's the guy, right?
Yeah,
Like
he was literally the best running back that week in
oh
fantasy
yeah. I
football.
remember. I lost to him
Literally,
in
yeah, he was
GPP.
RB1. So
Yeah.
it's not like he was good. He was great. So JT might be out. Everyone needs to go at him. Now, I'm not forcing you guys to keep this guy forever if JT comes back or when he comes back. That's up to you. That's per league basis. So I know a lot of people listening to this are in a 10-team league. Some people listening to this are in an 8-team league. I'm talking to you guys as well. Go get Deion Jackson. Literally the best running back week 6. Go and get him. Stash him, drop him whenever you want. I told everyone to get him. I added him in every single league I possibly could. Isaiah Likely is almost in the same boat in a 12-team league. He's a must add. Go add Isaiah Likely.
Who would you rather have, Dolchich or Likely rest of season?
It's got to be Dolchich.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just making
Greg
sure.
Dolchich for me.
Okay, cool.
But
I had that come up in one league.
there's like 6 tight ends out there.
Right.
And if you don't have one of those 6, like Isaiah Likely is a pot of gold. You got to go
Yeah.
get him. He's a gem. You must
Dolchich
go
in the
get
top
him.
6?
For me, yeah. He was a
Wow.
so this is pretty rare. So the man is injured. As soon as he comes back, which he comes back, it's funny. Like he never was there, but as soon as he comes back, returns from injury, but he never played. He's a rookie. But as soon as he's healthy and he's able to suit up, look at what happens. Albert O, healthy scratch. And Greg Dulcich, tight end 3 since he's come back. Well, for the first time. Ludacris's first album. Since he's come back for the first time, tight end 3, a top 3 tight end. in standard, in half PPR, and in full PPR.
Wow.
So how do you argue against that? Like we're like how and the team
He's
doesn't
doing
even
better than
do well.
Goddard? That's crazy.
Well, maybe not after today.
Okay. But
Well,
before
Goddard
today, he
Goddard
was
just
better
got
than Goddard?
100 yards. Yeah, Goddard
Yeah,
went off.
yeah.
So
Okay.
a top three tight end, and keep in mind Kelsey had a bye week and this and that. So
Mm.
it's like, you know, let's just say Greg Dolch's top 6 tight end moving forward. But Isaiah Likely, you got to have him at least as a backup tight end. He's a top. I think he's going to be a top 10, top 11 tight end. And if Mark Andrews is hurt, that he's going to be even better than that. So go add Deion Jackson, go add Isaiah Likely. We'll talk about some. We'll answer your questions in a little bit. I just want to go over some buy low targets. Amon-Ra, he was on my list last week to buy low. No touchdown for him, but he did get 10 targets. He is the man. And now TJ Hawkinson is gone. So he's a bigger man. He's a big boy now. He's even bigger boy. He grew bigger. Go get him. He's an even bigger target that you want to go get in trades. Go get Amon-Ra St. Brown, aka the Sun God. Josh Reynolds, I think, is also questionable. I
What
saw
do you think
somebody
of
pick up Khalif Raymond.
the Lions tight end Brock Wright? Is he someone that we should be on our radar moving forward, or is it like
Not
up in the
really.
air?
He's basically the same as once you get out of those top 6, they're all the same. So I'm not saying anything bad about him nor good. You have zero trust in him. There will be a couple games where he'll be good, but when do you know? Like when do you know that's gonna happen?
Well, I've never seen him play. I don't know anything about him, but he's
I've seen
obviously
him
an elite.
play. We've seen him
Oh, you
play.
have? Oh,
He's
okay.
just
I've
he's
never.
just a guy. Now this is a team they're pretty much tanking.
The Lions?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I
Why
didn't
would
know
you
that.
trade away TJ Hawkinson?
Yeah, that's true.
You're tanking. It's not a bad term. It's just they're gonna go get a top 2 quarterback in this draft.
Is JMO not coming back then?
Oh, he's coming back. They're taking it. He's
If they're
taking his
tanking,
time.
wouldn't they just keep him out or no?
Whatever with the health. So you do want to play for the. So tanking. Look, tanking is not a word that you put in a box that means 100% the same for every situation, every team, every sport. So it's a more harsh term, but essentially, this is what I mean. They're playing for the future. So they're
Okay.
more concerned about the 2 years from now than this year. If they were trying to win a Super Bowl this year, they would keep TJ Hawkinson. If they're trying to win a Super Bowl this year and needed a must win, they may have some kind of motivation to rush back Jameson Williams. That's not the case. I think they're going to go for a top 2 quarterback in this year's draft. They're going to develop them. They're one of the youngest teams in the league. They have great pieces. They got a good O line, good running backs, good wide receivers. All they need is better quarterback, better defense, and they're going to get that. We all know quarterbacks don't do great in their rookie year. But as far as the tight end, man, yeah, it's you don't want to start him. It's tight end roulette. Another guy I want you guys to go trade for is Devontae Smith, the Slim Reaper. Now, we just witnessed a game where Dallas Goedert went off. That's because it was this type of game and how the defense was playing the Eagles. They were really defending the deep ball. And it worked great. But Devontae Smith is going to continue to get a lot of targets. One thing I did notice, this isn't the best buy low candidate. One thing I did notice is that the Eagles, they kind of rotate. It's a big AJ Brown game, or it's a big Devontae Smith game. Usually Goddard does very well. He's a high floor guy, but AJ Brown, Devontae Smith are usually the guys who are very up and down. So unfortunately, neither AJ Brown nor Devontae Smith are going to be consistent. After today's game, the price for Devontae Smith just got a little bit lower. I'm stingy, so be stingy. Be like me on this one and get Devontae Smith for super cheap. If he doesn't have that clearance price sticker on him, just go get something else. You don't have to get him. Don't make this trade, but get him for super cheap if you can. Another guy I want you guys to get after this week is Tom Brady. I don't think he's going to have a great week 9 performance against the Rams, but after the Rams, I do believe he will. We're going to see Tom Brady. He's a new man. He's going to be on The Bachelorette. He's going to be doing some reality shows. He's going to be loosey goosey. He's a free man. I mean, a single man. He's officially divorced. Once he gets through this Rams game, he's going to be solid. You can get this guy for super cheap. I love it. People are trying to trade him. Go get Tom Brady. We do have a question from Ishmael. You guys know the rules. They apply here too. If you do donate with a super chat, you interrupt the show. And thank you so much, Ishmael, for all the support. What's up, guys? Starting Evan Ingram. Drop for likely or drop Freiermuth for likely or keep them both? That's a tough one because Freiermuth gets a boost with the Chase Claypool trade. Evan Ingram is a great start. I just think you stay put on this one. Freiermuth is a top 8 tight end.
If you were to drop one, I would say I'd rather drop Ingram than Muth, obviously. So,
Ingram's hot right now, though, man. He's been playing really well.
Okay, I guess he can't. Yeah,
and he's playing the Raiders this week.
Oh,
yeah, Evan Ingram. I don't know what happened. I seen a game where he played, I think 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was like, bro, this guy, like, he doesn't look like the clown he used to be. he looked really good. He's playing real football. He's not dropping the ball. Let's see.
And if the Giants still had him, it'd be better.
So right now he's tight end 10. But the past 2 weeks, I really liked his performances. 10.7, 15.5. Seems to be getting the most snaps he's had the whole year. That could be because of some of the injuries to wide receiver, but I don't think that's it because they got a little bit more healthy. 93% snaps against the Broncos, 15.5 fantasy points, 6 targets, 7 targets, 6 targets, 10 targets. I think it was against the Texans. So ever since the Texans game, week 5, he's been pretty good, man.
Should he try to trade one of these guys then?
That could work. So, but here's the Evan Ingram. Yeah, you probably could do that. Might as well. Not because I want to get rid of these guys, but because you might be able to get something good. Evan Ingram faces the Raiders and then faces the Chiefs. Both games could be huge. You could even use the KC as a bartering tool. Now, let me give you guys one piece of trade advice. This is probably the most, other than getting a bunch of crappy trade offers, this is the most annoying thing when trading. Don't give guys a reason why they need to accept the trade. It's really, it's basically, first of all, you calling the guy an idiot. You see what I mean? Like, I shouldn't need to convince you, Mike, that you need to buy something from me. You know what I mean? If we already have a deal in place, I want to give you more information and nudge you that way. Sure. Let's say I'm not talking about a trade. I'm talking about anything here. Anything, I'm selling you a used car, right? Mike, bro, you need to buy this car. Like, dude, don't pass up on, like, you already like turned off by how I'm talking like that. Like, hey, man, we're supposed to be buddies. Like, why are you trying to sell me this car so bad? Like, all of a sudden. But if I'm like, hey, bro, you could use a car. Like, I know you commute a lot. Like, it's got good gas mileage. Like, I'll hook you up. See, that's cool. You want to nudge people. Don't go telling people like, hey, they need to accept this. Like, you're dumb if you pass this up. Because it just makes you look, because the guy you're trading with is not that dumb. Because the first thing they'll think of is, why don't you just keep him then? If this guy's so good and I have to accept this trade, like, I'm an idiot if I don't accept this trade, why wouldn't you just keep him? So don't insult people's intelligence. Don't spam offer. Don't spam a bunch of crappy trade offers, and don't over convince people that, hey, like, you're a dummy if you don't accept this trade, because that pisses people off. Don't do that. But one thing you could do is be like, hey, could you use a tight end like Evan Ingram? Because he just faced the Raiders. You're not going to tell him this, but he just faced the Raiders. He probably had a good game. So one thing you could say though, kind of on the low, like don't push it too hard, is be like, and he's facing the Chiefs. Jags are going to need to throw the ball that game to seal the deal. So that could be a selling point. But don't be like, hey man, like you're an idiot if you don't take this. Like Evan Ingram's facing the Chiefs. So hopefully that made sense. What I'm saying there. Let me know if that made sense, because I think it's very important. And this is a trend I'm seeing a lot. A lot of people are telling me this. I've seen this a lot on Twitter. Like, don't insult people's intelligence when you send them trades. It's it's happening a lot this year. But yeah, hopefully you can get something good if someone is desperate for a tight end. But these two games, man, I would love to start Evan Ingram week 9 and week 10. But stay put. Don't drop Ingram. Don't drop Freiermuth. All right, so trade for Tom Brady after this week. I'm gonna actually skip this one really quick. I'm gonna trade Zach Ertz straight up for Dalton Schultz after this week. So I'm banking on, well, really, yeah, I'm banking on one thing to happen. I'm doing it for two reasons. So the first reason, I'm banking on Zach Ertz having a good game against the Seahawks. Great matchup, high scoring game, hopefully. Ball out Zach Ertz, please, so I can sell high. Once that happens, I'm not trading for Zach Ertz I'm not trading away Zach Ertz for Schultz right now, because there's literally no tight ends I can start in any of my leagues. So Dalton Schultz is on bye. Otherwise, I'd do it. The bye week, Dalton Schultz will get even healthier. His snap count has been going up. He's looking like his old self. He's looking like the sleeper pick that I wanted to happen. I think it's finally happening. 65% of snaps week 7, 71% of snaps week 8, 5 targets week 7, 7 targets week 8. Now he has a bye week. He should be at 100%. And then no bye week after that. So I'm trading Zach Ertz for Dalton Schultz straight up. If I need to add one crappy player that I'm never going to start into the mix, like a Brian Robinson or what, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I don't have him in any leagues though. Someone like that, I'm doing it. I'm going to go get Dalton Schultz. I suggest you guys get Dalton Schultz. And you know what? If you do have that luxury like Ishmael, as I don't, you can go get Dalton Schultz this week. Now, people are even more likely to trade away Dalton Schultz when they're on a bye, because they're probably struggling at tight end. So maybe that is a move that Ishmael can make. He can go get like Dalton Schultz, or make any trade, actually. Make any trade. Go pick up Likely and make any trade. But I like Dalton Schultz after this week. Even better this week if you have a tight end to start. Cowboys are on bye this week, week 9. Khalil Herbert, this is one of the more unsexier ones to get, because if you're in a deep league, fantasy managers aren't going to want to let go of Khalil Herbert. I don't think so. But if you can get him for cheap, go and get him. I think in shallower leagues, people they're not too attached to Khalil Herbert. I think you can claw him away from fantasy managers and get him for cheap. So if you can get him for super cheap, similar to Devontae Smith, if he's got a clearance price on him, go and get him. If it's just a sales price, yeah, we don't want him for sale, right? We don't want him for
I actually
10%
traded
off.
for him last week. Remember, I texted you guys, "Is this a good trade?" So someone offered me, it was the Grinch in another league, but he offered me Herbert and Romeo Dobbs for Jamison Williams and Kyron Williams, and I accepted
Yeah,
it.
that's a redraft?
Yeah, redraft 12 team.
Oh, yeah, that's
Someone
a
he offered that
no-brainer.
to me. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
that's a lot of
wow.
woulda, coulda, shouldas for some real deals, right?
I
So
know. So that was a good one. That was pretty cheap, I thought. I was like, wow.
yeah, I
You
mean,
know, smash
you
accept.
traded two guys who have zero career fantasy points. So In Dynasty, that's different, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the type
This
of
is
stuff we
redraft.
like sometimes. Like, oh, he's got no points. Yeah, baby. I'm gonna be the first guy to get some points out of him and look cool. But in redraft, yeah.
I won that, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, heck yeah. I mean, I think so. I don't know. I don't know what any Rams running back's gonna do. Like I like Kyrie. Look, you know me. I always stash the guys that some people might laugh at and don't work out. But that happened, and just every now and then they hit. I mean, that's Kyron Williams, but I don't. The odds of him hitting and being startable are fairly low. I mean, we're talking like J.D. McKissick is his upside.
That's bad.
Tariq Cohen, yeah, and you know those guys. They've only had like 1 year. Like that's pretty tough to get
Is he
that.
gonna be better than Cam Akers?
Well, yeah, of
Okay, so
course.
the bar is not that low.
Well, I
That's
can't.
good.
We're having a thing on one of the live streams like how many running backs are better than Cam Akers in the NFL, and I think we're at over 60.
Wow.
You
That's a
think
lot.
about it.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Who is
So
he better than? That should be the easier
yeah.
question. Who is below Cam Akers?
Justice Hill could be worse.
Okay.
But
Right.
that's a debate. That's a debate. I think we could. I think somebody could sway us on this one. That Justice Hill is better. I mean, he's faster. Justice Hill's got a lot of speed. That's about it. Yeah, there's real Chuba Hubbard.
She was below Cam Akers.
Well, I don't know. It's a debate. It's debatable.
I think he's way above Cam Akers. How is he below Cam Akers?
Chuba Hubbard? I mean, he's been pretty bad.
I mean, in the current situation, like right now, I would definitely rather have Chuba Hubbard.
Well, it's tough. It's what do we? I mean, he's hurt. He hasn't really played. He's been horrible.
Well, when he split carries with Dante Foreman a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I forget when it was, but he was
for
decent.
like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he was decent.
Yeah, so you think Chuba's better than Cam Akers?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too. Ricky is way out of Cam Akers looks worse than Zeke. Yeah, like
yes.
That's like 20. Like we're talking about like 30 running backs in between those two. I just brought up Justice Hill, bro. I think you know what's funny. I think nobody knows how bad Justice Hill is to understand the humor there. So Justice Hill is undersized, very fast running back, like lightning fast, very undersized. But that dude cannot run. He is so bad. He's such a bad running back. It's mind-boggling why they don't start Mike Davis over him. I know Mike Davis isn't that fast. I mean, they just prefer the speed. But
yeah,
you know, it is what it is. Maybe it's the threat. You know, like Justice Hill can home run threat. He can catch it and take off. Maybe that threat kind of helps spread him out. Maybe that's their theory.
That's another thing I'm staying away from moving forward. I'm never drafting a Ravens running back ever again. Ever. It'll never happen.
A Ravens running back?
I never have confidence in that backfield.
Remember,
moving forward.
Remember one of the most recent times I drafted a Ravens running back, I was doing a celebratory dance, and it was Ray Rice. And I was like, oh, he's only getting suspended 2 games. I was like, these guys are, everyone is so stupid. Everyone is so stupid that they let Ray Rice fall 3 more rounds than they should just because he suspended 2 games. And then, nope, he's suspended for life.
See, that's what happens.
He was blacklisted by the entire planet. It was over. Yeah. It was over for him as a human being. Everything was over. Like it was like
so that further proves my point.
That's like it dates all the way back to that. I mean, ever since that, what have we had? Like Justin Forsett for 1 year. I mean, really haven't had anything. And that's the reason they drafted J.K. I don't know who was the running back before J.K. Dobbins.
Before J.K. Dobbins?
Yeah, because there's a reason they drafted J.K. Dobbins. Like, oh, we're gonna.
Someone in the chat, help us.
Yeah. Who the hell, dude? Between Justin Forsett and J.K. Dobbins, who was the running back?
I don't know. Wasn't Willis McGahee the running back for a little bit?
Man, I think
Remember
that's
that?
long.
Yeah,
I think that's
I
before
know that's not
Forsett.
recent, but
Yeah, it's
I'm
before
just saying.
Forsett.
I do remember that.
That's probably before Ray Rice.
Mark Ingram.
Mark Ingram.
That's
right.
Alex Collins.
That's right.
Oh, wow. It's all coming back.
Mark Ingram was one we should have known, but Alex Collins, I wouldn't. I forgot.
What happened to him? He was like relevant.
Wasn't he the thing, the dancer? What's that? The Irish dance? What is that dance? What's the Irish dance? Remember when everyone would dance with the bottom part of their feet?
The river dance.
Yeah, Alex Collins did the river dance. He did the river dance celebration.
Yeah.
And Mark Ingram was kind of still in his prime. He was still a 1K rusher. So that was the last year of Mark Ingram when he was like
trust levels
efficient.
Yeah,
big trust.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I forgot about the Mark Ingram era.
in Baltimore. Our producer Drew. Sometimes it's better not to say anything, Drew. Terrence West. I don't even the name. I vaguely remember the name. That's all. I don't know who that is.
Yeah. So in the 10 commandments of drafting, that's on the commandment list for me now.
And I think about updating my
you should
my cursed list. Well, they don't know the Ravens. My top 5, it could be top 6 cursed NFL teams. So number 1, as long as Dan Snyder owns the Washington Commanders, they're number 1. They have the poltergeist curse.
Yes.
So when Dan Snyder sells the team, I think the spirits of the poltergeist might be lifted. But as of right now, there's a lot of poltergeists in there. The TV screens are moving, and people are being dragged across the floor, and dirty emails being sent, and crazy injuries. So they're number 1. Washington's definitely cursed. But then we got the Lions, Chargers, Browns.
Browns got to be in there,
and maybe another one. I always forget, but definitely Lions and Chargers.
Jaguars are pretty historic.
I don't think they're my curse essentially means bad luck, like freakish. I think the Jaguars just
Vegas Raiders.
They just draft bad. That's borderline. That kind of fits my definition of curse, but yeah.
There's a lot of bad things.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, I do remember the Darius Hayward Bay draft. Like that was just,
wow.
I mean, these guys do this all the time. Darius Hayward Bay, Henry Ruggs. Fast wide receivers can never find a head coach. Like it seems like every year tight ends and kickers always go off on this team. You can always run on them. Jets. For sure. Jets are definitely on my list. So Raiders are funny though. That is a crazy one. When they drafted Henry Ruggs, the internet went crazy. They're like, Al Davis made that pick.
I thought it was good at the time. I remember.
No,
because I was like, he was a basketball player. I thought he was.
But really they passed on CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, that's
the point. Yeah, nobody hated Henry Ruggs. They just hated that wide receivers weren't going in the draft, and then the Raiders started picking Henry Ruggs and high-fiving. And look at what happened. Like,
Clelin Ferrell. Yeah,
that's a terrible pick. I love that fan. He's like one of my favorite memes. The Raiders fan. He's like, who the hell is that? That meme is like forever lived on.
He was good at Clemson, though. Don't get me wrong. But ever since that,
bro, they really did like a video game GM, like
Mayock.
Yeah. It was really like a kid making draft picks.
It's like, why don't you let Mel Kiper Jr. make picks? Well, I mean, might as well.
He would have been even worse, but.
Mel Kiper. Yeah. It's like making Mel Kiper.
But it is It is. Man, I just typed in Raiders and it didn't come up, but I know I can.
There's content.
No, I hoped it would come up when you just type Raiders. That's the
Oh,
thing.
like cursed Raiders
No,
cursed.
no, no. The meme when they pick Cleveland Farrell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's
It's not coming
harmful.
up on.
You put Raiders Cleveland Farrell meme? Is that what you searched?
I probably have it saved on my.
Yeah,
Where
don't
is this?
forget
It's not
AB.
Giphy.
AB was a horrible acquisition. I think that's what started off him going to the deep end, was being on the Raiders.
Yeah, Antonio Brown. That saga was
Remember when he
so
froze
big.
his feet?
He froze his feet.
Froze his feet.
He wiretapped the coach. You gotta. That's the thing is like you gotta be like on a crazy level mind to even think to like to. You're talking to your buddy. You're like, hey, I want to next time a Gruden calls, I want to wiretap it. Your buddy's like, huh? He's like, yeah, I want to wiretap it for my YouTube video. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I want to record the call. He's like, why would you want? He's like, hey, I'm Antonio Brown. Just make it happen. He's like, all right, I know an app. And then he gets it and records it. He's like, bro, you shouldn't upload. He's like, I already did it. It's up. It's up. We already got the video up. It's in black and white. It's dope. Call Nike. Let them know. Like, what do you, like, bro, you just got like another 100 million. Like, what do you like? How does your mind go to like, oh, I'm gonna wiretap the coach? Like, that's
Have you heard him
just
say the word
crazy.
parody?
Yeah,
He's on a
that's
parody. He
yeah,
calls it a
yeah.
parody.
That's
That right
just
there just
there's no
screams
words to
CTE.
describe that. Like how he's it's a parody. It's a parody. It's a parody.
Like, do
It's
you
a
mean
parody.
pierogi? Oh, parody.
Oh, I didn't even I
Oh
listened
my.
to it. I didn't even know what it was, but then I saw people explain it, and that's when I knew what he was talking. I didn't even know what he was. I thought he was just talking. I thought something about like a cigar or something. Like, oh, like all right,
Parody.
yeah. I was like, oh, he's a parody. But that's what's fun. That's so out there, bro. That more people know how to pronounce parody than know how to spell it. This
Well,
dude
how did
knows
he
how to.
hear? Did he hear that from
No, no,
somewhere?
no. He knows how to spell it. He doesn't know how to
Okay.
pronounce it.
But I mean, like, someone has had to have said that word
No,
to
no, no.
him
That's how he read
before.
it. That's how I got. He read it like that. So
I
he's
don't think he
seen.
read it.
No, no.
He
He's
just like
seen
was
the word
saying it.
someplace. He's seen the
Oh
word
my god,
on
that's too
paper,
much.
but when he looks at it, parody.
But he
Right
had
when
to have said that word in
I
conversation
got you, but I'm
before.
telling you how that may or may not, but I'm saying that's how he got there. Nobody, like two people didn't come to him and be like, hey, did you watch the SNL parody last night? Nobody has said that to this guy. He's seen the word for sure on on a screen, on a book. He's seen the word written on a text message, and that's how he enunciated it.
So you're saying this is like when Bryce Harper was pronouncing meme maymays? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, that maymay was
Yeah,
funny."
yeah, yeah.
It's like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
All
But
right.
but but
I get
that's
it
the
now.
thing. But when memes were brand new, nobody like it was that was a brand new. I mean, parodies have been going. It's like people parodies have been going on before we were all born. Like it's a thing. Memes have only been around for a decade, guys. It's only been 10 years that
But
we've
who
been
calls
memeing.
it a maymay? I've never heard
When
that
it
before.
first came out,
We were calling it maymay?
some people didn't know how to pronounce it, just like GIF. People
Yeah.
didn't
Oh,
know
I
it's a
get
new,
that. Like that
that's what I'm saying. It's a new thing. Yeah. How could you go to meme? Yeah, I don't know, but people they didn't know how to pronounce it because it's new. Like I'm just saying, I at least understand it. No one has ever been like, oh man, a parody. Like no one has ever said that.
That is true.
Oh, and I got
Oh
my
god.
last guy who's the most
Triggering me now.
unsexiest.
Triggering me.
AJ Dillon. I just want to talk about him really quick. So, yes, I would buy low on him if you're desperate for a running back for week 9. But in other cases, too, some people are thinking about dropping this guy. So, if you do find someone desperate for a running back or flex week 9, it is by Do I have to remind you? You can sell him. So this is a good time to get this guy on super clearance price. Not even clearance. Let's call this liquidation sale. If you can get him at a liquidation sale, meaning the guy's about to drop AJ Dillon and you get him, you might, you know what, Mike? You might be able to get this guy for $10 FAB in a trade.
Wow, I have him, so I know all about this.
Rostered in 85% of leagues. So he's being dropped slowly. He's being dropped, a couple percent every week. So I think you can get him. And I got my ears out. I hear what you guys are saying. I know a lot of people, a lot of my followers are talking about dropping this guy. I just dropped AJ Dillon. Like, he just got dropped in my league. I'm thinking about dropping AJ Dillon. Should I drop AJ Dillon? This is what's being said. You guys don't hear this. I hear it. I'm telling you
I've
guys.
thought about it. I have him. I've
There
thought
you
about
go.
it.
In a 12 team?
No, 10 team.
10 team. Okay, it's more realistic, but I mean,
Yeah.
12 team, that's alarming. But
Yeah. 10 team.
So it's happening. So you can get him for super cheap, or you can just sell him and get rid of him super cheap if you need to.
We're starting him this week, though, right? Is this the week?
I have him,
does good,
and I'm probably benching him.
Really? Against the Lions?
Yeah, so I like the matchup. I think he will do well, but I kind of had to give up once I was like, hey, he's going to do well week 7. That was like my last. I literally said that. I was like, this is my last time. I'm like telling you guys.
The only reason why I don't drop him is because of the small chance that Aaron Jones gets hurt. That's literally the only reason why.
That's a big chance. That's a big.
Yeah, right.
You got to kind of expect him to miss a game or two.
Exactly.
Running backs miss 2.5 games on average. Like, it's a brutal position.
Yeah.
80% off, says Ricky, and I think that's actually a great draw the line in the sand. If you can get him for 80% off or cheaper, which basically means free, go get him. Other than that, no, don't do it. All right, guys, let's answer some questions. Yeah. Look, AB was a little, he was cut from a different cloth. He was a little bit different. He had half a screw loose before when he was on the Steelers, and it just kept getting worse. But things escalated pretty quickly when he was on the Raiders. Oh, yeah, he did go live. AB did go live when they were in the locker room. I totally forgot. I totally forgot. It was just like there was one crazy AB thing he did every week. He threw something at a cam running. He threw a bike. He almost killed a kid. He threw a vase out of a window.
He almost killed a kid?
I think he threw a vase out of a window and it landed a few feet in front of him.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Man, he's something else, man.
Yeah, it was. He threw, I think, a bicycle at a surveillance camera. Now he's selling a T-shirt hugging Giselle. It's just.
He's clearly has severe advanced CTE. It's gonna be exposed one day.
His CTE has CTE.
I've never heard that one before.
I just came up with that. It's sad. It's not even. Don't laugh at that. Nobody laugh at that one. It's not even funny. Okay.
That's not funny.
It's horrible because he's such in a bad place. And you know what? I'm a huge fan too. I always wanted him to succeed because he's mass talent, Hall of Fame caliber player, insane. And I think the most sad thing about AB is that he wants to play. He's not like one of those guys who's like, oh, I'm just gonna rap and do a bunch of BS because whatever, man, I'm a football player, but I'm so much more not. He's like, I am a football player. I want to play. He wants to play. It's in his blood. You don't just get that good by not caring.
You see that dance he made up where he's like this? Everyone does it with a touchdown celebration. He goes with his fingers like this. Put that on.
No, I don't know.
He actually had a viral dance that people do when they score touchdowns. Now they do this dance. But anyways, it's funny that he's part of he's head of Kanye's sports division or whatever.
Minds think alike.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Really?
Is Alvin Kamara, Curtis Samuel, Wan'Dale Robinson, and
Buffalo tight
Knox.
end,
I
and
like how he
Knox.
said that. That's funny.
Buffalo tight end.
He's like, I'm not gonna have this guy make fun of my spelling. It ain't happening. He got Wan'Dale Robinson right though. I mean, that's
Yeah, that's
that's
hard with the apostrophe in the
compared
middle.
to
That's tough.
Knox. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's
For Kelsey, Godwin, and Zeke.
no. I would say no
So I'm
for
looking
that
at
trade.
this. The first side is really there's only one prominent player, that's Kamara.
Yeah.
Remember
What
in
is it?
blockbuster trades, like decent players and stuff don't really matter. So Kamara for Kelsey and
Godwin's a wide
Godwin.
receiver too.
And
Like
Godwin, yeah,
he's
he's
not a
good.
throw-in.
I prefer the Kelsey side.
Yeah. But the RB1, that's what you're trading for
Yeah,
is
so
getting an
this
RB1.
trade could help both teams, no
Right.
doubt. So it's not like the guy accepting this is an idiot. No, not at all.
True.
That guy could need an RB1. You know what? You know what, man? This is awesome because I told people not to sell Kamara. I told people to buy Kamara. I got made fun of quite a bit when I kept telling people to buy Kamara for weeks and weeks and never gave up and kept pushing it for 4 weeks straight. I've said on this podcast to buy Kamara. So now this guy, whatever, somehow he has Kamara, whether you drafted him or traded for him, he has Kamara. You can't sell him high now. That's great. Because if this was week 2, bro, this deal would not happen. If this was week 3, oh my God, Kamara's getting 0 to 7 fantasy points per game. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So if you need a tight end, which I think everybody does, and maybe Knox is probably his best tight end, go get your tight end. You got that settled. As long as you're okay at running back, go make that happen. Now, don't expect anything from Zeke. Okay. He's gonna be all right with Dak. Like he's not going to be whack or anything, but don't think you got Zeke and that's going to like be some kind of substitute for Kamara. They're 2 different leagues. One's an RB1 and one's an RB2. Okay. So if Zeke's your best running back, you got to worry about this trade. But if Zeke is your 3rd best running back, this is a good trade. Go get Kelsey. There's no other tight end like him. Second to none. Who's the second best tight
So
end?
he's trading for Kamara, I think. That's what he's doing.
Okay. I prefer the Kelsey side. But like I said, if somebody's super desperate for a running back, getting Kamara, that's not bad. I think the Kelsey side wins though.
Me too.
So
I agree.
Stick with Kelsey if you have the Kelsey side.
Yeah.
Couch, would you trade T Higgins
No.
and Fournette for Amon-Ra, Terry McLaurin, and Hunt? No, I like those 3 guys, but I always preach quality over quantity. You know what you should do, though, is go and try to get Leonard Fournette's handcuff, Rachaad White. He's free right now. Go get him. He's like available in most leagues. You can probably get him off free agency right now. You go handcuff Leonard Fournette, what are you worried about? You're good. A guy in my league is offering Justin Jefferson for my Kamara. Should I pull the trigger? My other RBs are Swift, Walker, and Singletary. Your other RBs are good, but not great. What do you think, Mike? Just go get Jefferson?
I don't know. His running backs are a little like I don't trust it to win it all. I think he could win it all with Kamara and Walker finishing as top running backs, but I just don't know about the rest of that backfield.
This is a risky move. It's an upside move. It can help you win. If you have a small mishap, it's going to hurt you. Like Ken Walker's on bye like in about a week. I think he's got like a week 10 bye. I mean, what are you going to do that week? That's the thing. So you're starting Singletary. That's okay. You're starting Swift, hoping he's alive still.
I have Jefferson, and he doesn't score touchdowns. That's the only problem. He does everything, but he's not getting in the end zone this year. So
he's a little inconsistent. He's still elite.
Well, no, he's consistent. He's just not getting touchdowns. Like that's the problem.
Well, as far as the points, though, if you just look at the numbers.
Yeah, he's been consistent. Like he doesn't have like bad games.
Well, I'd say Diggs is more consistent. Cooper Kupp's more consistent. Well, Cooper Cup doesn't necessarily score, but I mean, like when he gets low, he score. I'm just talking about the numbers. You just draw it on a chart. Jefferson is inconsistent. It's just a number thing. There's no way around it. Justin Jefferson.
He only had really one bad game in week 3. Other than that, he's been pretty consistent.
Well, week 2, 10.8. Week 3, 4.4.
But he only has 2 touchdowns from week 1. That's the last time he scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty incredible. Like the touchdowns need to go up. They should go up though.
I don't know. It's been
Touchdowns
pretty bad.
should go
We've had a big sample size already.
Oh
He
yeah,
had a
but
rushing
the touchdowns
touchdown
will
week
go up.
4. I just think him and Cousins aren't getting on the same page. And now they got Hawkinson, so that's another guy taking red zone targets potentially.
Well, I'm for keeping Kamara.
Me too.
I think that's your best move. And you start these, just start all three, start Swift, start Kamara, start Walker. And then when there's a bye week or something, you got Singletary.
Yeah. There you go. At least you're set. Like running back is like secure.
Yeah. And you're starting 3 running backs. That's not so bad. Maybe if you can get Jamal Williams for cheap, that would be great. Rodgers, Dillon, Aaron Rodgers and Dillon for Brady Hines. I don't know what that means.
What is that? I don't know.
And then you added week 9. I mean, can you
talk?
talk?
Sure.
Can you talk more in ton? Like, can you talk more in like code?
He's from Sweden. His name is Sven.
His name is Sven. He's from Sweden.
Yeah, he's from Sweden. He doesn't know like how.
We have a guy like this, a local guy, Mike. You heard of him? It's called the Zodiac Killer. He would talk like this.
That's true. That's true.
We were never smart enough to solve what the heck he was saying for like 30 years. But, eventually, we traded away AJ Dillon and it ended up working out.
Damn, this fool said he traded away Jamar Chase and got St. Brown. How did that happen? That's gotta be collusion.
Yeah, that's good. No, some people were kind
of. Who would do that?
But there's a reason why I put this guy in every video, because he's so cheap.
Why is he so cheap? I don't get it.
Yeah, but it's not that amon-ra is cheap. I know that's a fact, but who would
trade? Yeah,
who would want Chase that bad?
There's no way that's a real trade.
Of course it's a real trade, bro.
That's terrible. I would veto that so fast if I was in that league. I'd be like, no.
Should I try to hack this? Let me bring it off screen just in case it's something bad.
Okay, yeah.
This guy knows I'm smart, right?
I think so.
He knows I wouldn't fall. I do hack my lineup. Come on. I must have typed it wrong.
He has a McAfee security certificate.
Nah, I brought it up, bro, and nothing. There's nothing there. RKFHF1N. Nope. Nothing. It says nothing's here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I brought it up. There's nothing.
Copy and paste it. It says copy and paste the link. Don't click on it.
I did that. I'm a professional. No, it's not working. Yes.
Moving on.
Yeah. Well, we already told you what to do. Yeah. Just keep Kamara.
Keep Kamara.
I got White in case Fournette goes down. Would you do straight up Kirk for Brady?
I'd rather have Kirk.
Kirk, just keep Kirk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep Kirk.
Kirk just got TJ.
Yeah, he just got TJ Hawkinson. Man.
Brady would kill for TJ Hawkinson.
You're the one who has the leverage here. So if you are making this trade, you can ask for more. Why would you do Kirk for Brady straight up? You're the one taking the risk. You're the one who just got an upgrade.
Yeah.
He forgot a letter. See? All right, let's bring this up. All right, it's good.
Oh.
There we go.
Nice little Victoria's Secret ad up top.
What have I been browsing lately? These are targeted ads. Everyone knows that. These are targeted ads. These are tracking ads. It's at the top and the bottom.
$50, that's it.
It's $49.99, baby.
It's a good deal.
I can push these puppies up, have them perky all day, make the podcast. We need more donations for the podcast.
We need more views.
Yeah, we need more views. Everyone, please subscribe.
Fantasy Couch now has an OnlyFans. Just kidding.
I could open one up. There'll be nothing on there that anybody wants to see, though. I'll tell you that.
I know, but I mean, you know, it's another revenue stream.
People do want me to give fantasy advice in a hot tub.
Oh, wow.
I could do
Ben
that.
does for sure.
I could do that, but
in a sauna.
We'll see. So I did promise the people that there would be a hot tub stream if I won one of the big tournaments I'm in. So I don't think it's gonna happen though. But it was promised. Promised on Twitch.
OnlyFans for Monte.
That's disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're sick. Oh, so I have a bunch of players here. I don't know what we're looking at though. This was great.
Okay, so he checked who he traded away. So
this is that one trade.
Yeah. This is what we're dissecting right now.
Oh, and this is his. So he's the guy with Kelsey.
Right.
He said.
Yeah.
Brady. Yeah, definitely and he's got Pollard. Oh man, definitely stay put. He could use a running back though. Stay put though. You know what?
Stay put.
Once you don't have Kelsey, you'll understand how it feels to be like someone else.
Yeah. You don't want that.
I honestly didn't think it was smart at the time, but in the Patreon league, in my ghost draft where someone had to go to work and paid me to draft for them, in the $200 big money league, in all three of those leagues, I drafted Kelsey. I thought it was silly, and I am not regretting it one bit. He is carrying my team. Every week he goes off. There's really no one close to him. People think Mark Andrews is close, but he's put up duds and is injured. There's no tight. You know the second best tight end is? I think it's Dallas Goedert.
Has to be.
And that's by default. Like, it's Dallas Goedert. I mean, it's so bad. Like, there's no tight ends.
Dolchus is a top 10 tight end.
Even better than that. I think it's top 8.
6.
Yeah, top 6, maybe top 8. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, people out here are starting Taysom Hill, man.
I've been starting him.
Yeah, like
it's been bad. Him and Pitts. I don't know who to choose week to week. I'm like, should I start Taysom Hill or should I start Kyle Pitts? Not great options.
It's not Mark Andrews. No. You've been misinformed by the people. The fact checkers, independent fact checkers have proven this wrong. Bro, I'm sorry, dude, but
Get a terrible week.
Kelsey and Mark Andrews are not in the same tier because this fraud you're talking about has put up 3 fantasy points week 4, 0.4 fantasy points week 7, and 6 fantasy points week 8. Kelsey would never do such a thing.
Wow.
He would never do that to us. Ever. Kelsey's worst game, 10.10 fantasy points. This guy's just on fire, dude.
Wow.
What about that one week, Mike, where I had 1% chance to win on Yahoo, big money league, and Travis Kelce scored 4 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And I won. I needed him to score 32 or 33, and he scored 33.5.
That's incredible.
Insane. I'm like, I need just like 32.8 from Kelsey. Yeah, I needed 33 from the guy. I needed 30. Yeah, that's what I needed 33 for him, and I won by half a point. My opponent's jaw is still on the floor till this day.
Yeah.
What trade do you recommend I make? I think you need a Khalil. See, like Khalil Herbert, you might be able to get for cheap. I think you just got to aim a little lower and get a decent running back. Don't get a great running back. Any running backs you can think of off the top of your head other than Khalil Herbert? Because AJ Dillon's probably not good enough for him.
Um. Hmm. I don't know. Wait, I need more time to think.
Yeah, I think go get Khalil Herbert. That's a cheap one. You might be able to get him for cheap.
Ooh, Foreman. Foreman's a good one.
Well, he just
I like that.
exploded. That's the thing. It's not as easy.
That's true.
But that's my point is like I wouldn't really be trying to get rid of Kelsey, man.
I wouldn't either.
That's
I
so
wouldn't.
tough. Yeah, because once you do that, you're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna hop back on Twitch. Oh man, what tight end should I trade for? It's like I need a tight end. Like, bro, I'm telling you, man. There's two types of fantasy managers out here: those who have Kelsey and those who don't. And then at the bottom, like the very, very, very bottom, the ones really struggling don't even have a top 8 tight end. They
Do
drafted
you
a
have any
guy like
shares of
Knox or
Kelsey?
Komet. Me, I just told my story.
Oh, this year? Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
year.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought it was. I honestly thought it was kind of dumb, but I drafted him in 3. Like I drafted him in at least 3 leagues. Yeah.
3 leagues? Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
it just worked out. And what I'm really proud on is this guy paid me good money, and they had a lot of fun. His son's in that league. His son follows us and everything. He couldn't draft, so I ghost drafted for him, and I crushed it, dude. I absolutely crushed it. I drafted Justin Jefferson in the first round, Kelsey in the second round.
Wow.
James Conner in the third. That killed it. Didn't do
Ooh.
good. I think ETN in the fourth.
Wow.
And James Conner like in round 7 or something crazy. Josh
I
Jacobs.
was like, what?
Josh
Oh,
Jacobs. Yeah,
Josh Jacobs.
bro. Yeah. And then I waited way too long for a quarterback. And then one guy was a Broncos fan and drafted Russell Wilson and let us get Kyler Murray.
Oh my goodness.
So he reached for and drafted Russell Wilson, and we got Kyler Murray as the ninth QB off the board.
That's incredible.
But the conversations basically ended with Kelsey. It's a 10-team league. We got Kelsey. We got Jefferson. The team's just off the charts, man. All right. I don't know if we can do this long question, but we'll try. We'll end it on this one. Luka Magic, and he changes the rest of the year. Half PPR. Cousins, ETN, Walker, Evans, AJ Brown, Goddard, Chubb, Cook, Allen Robinson, Deion Jackson, Carr, Rashad White, Sutton. So it's like
I don't know.
He's like manage, like just do everything for me. He's like this is not even a fan. He wants us to do everything for him.
Like, what do you want?
Just do everything for me. He's like, look, I did the draft. Okay, I did the drafting. I did the waiver to this one. Now just tell me what to do from here on out. All right, that's all you got to do.
Okay, get rid of Derek Carr and Allen Robinson.
Yeah, get rid of those two bums.
Done and done. Thank you.
But that's for that type of question. I guess that is the right type of answer. Like, just give him like, hey, it's easy. Get rid of Derek Carr. What are you doing? Allen Robinson. You have him. You don't anymore. Don't come back unless you get rid of these guys.
Replace these two names from this list.
If Kupp and Taylor miss the week, Allen Robinson or DeAndre. Look, guys, let me tell you something. If JT is out, first of all, if Deion Jackson is available in your league and you're not adding him, you don't belong to this family. You're not part of Couch Fam. You're not part of Couch Fam. You're not part of the family. You're being disowned. You're not even going to see. That's the couch right here. That's the couch, Mike, we started with. It's behind. Some people don't even know that. It's right behind me. You're not even going to see this couch. You're no longer welcome to even look at the couch. You're not part of this family. That's first of all. Go add Deion Jackson. Number 2, if JT is out, start Deion Jackson. That's it. I like how his other example is like Allen Robinson. Like, bro, Allen Robinson
How
and
did he get
Deion
in this
Jackson.
discussion?
That's such an easy answer. This is Allen Robinson, and Deion Jackson's literally the best.
Well, I got a good one for you. How about Khalil Herbert against Miami or Deion Jackson?
Well, is JT?
Assuming JT's out.
It's Deion Jackson. Are you
Still Deion
freaking
Jackson.
kidding
Okay,
me?
I'm just making sure.
Are you
I'm just
kidding?
making
That's like
sure.
the
I
same
don't
exact
know.
question. It's the
Is
same.
it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm glad. Thank you.
Hawkinson or for Schultz and Connor. A good Schultz and Connor is the oh my god. Go get Schultz and Connor. This is so incredible. Oh my god. Yeah, go get trade away TJ Hawkinson and go get Dalton
Connor
Schultz
sucks
and James
though.
Conner.
He's been
Huh?
hurt all year. Connor's
Who?
been hurt all year. James Conner.
Hawkinson and Schultz is a wash.
I don't know.
Hawkinson
I
and
would think
Schultz
about this.
is a wash. I'm
Is
telling
it?
that's my
Hawkinson
opinion.
could
I'm
be
telling
really
you
good on
right
the
now.
Vikings.
I'm telling you right now it's a wash.
Connor's just a throw-in, though, in my opinion. It's not that.
He could be back this week. It's fine if he's not. Let him get healthy. That's a huge boost. That's not it's James Conner. I'd rather have James Conner than AJ Dillon.
Yeah, that's true.
Daryl Williams, I think, just got sent to IR.
Wait, what? Oh, no, he just came back, I thought.
Yeah, and he just went to IR.
He's back on IR?
Yeah. He only played a little bit, and he's back.
I had no idea. Okay.
Well, it's not major news, and not a lot of people know. Let's double check though.
Yeah, double check that.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Cardinals placed Daryl Williams hip on injured reserve. Just happened, and for a moment, this guy was the RB2 on the Cardinals. So whether you think he's the RB2 or RB3, that's still another running back down. So there's no Chase Edmonds from last year. There's no threat of Daryl Williams this year, and James Conner is day to day. No, Hawkinson for Schultz is a wash. Those two are very close. So getting James Conner just totally makes this lopsided. So go trade away Hawkinson and go get Dalton Schultz and James Conner. All right, we're going to end the podcast there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That's right. Let's go Deion Jackson. If JT is out and you want to be a member of this family still, make sure you're starting Deion Jackson in your starting lineup. All right, guys. Take care. Peace out.